But let's look at the people that are looking to purchase an investment property, specifically in the regions. What tips would you, if you could just give out 3 to 5 tips, what would be the main tips you would say to someone? If you want to buy a property in the regions, this is the top things you should look at.
Yeah. First thing is understand your own cash flow and how much you can spend. Because if you can go bigger and bolder, have a second think about the region. You might be more suited to metro. So the first thing is to get good financial advice. The second thing is to not rely on your own emotion. So if you've got an affinity with something because you love horses or whatever, it has to have genuine and proven growth drivers. And typically it needs to have a little bit of a stronger population, exhibiting a little bit of population growth too. You don't want a town that's shrinking. But when I say population, ideally you want to have a hospital, a university. If it's a robust town like that, you can be assured of a lot of initiatives and incentives and just money being spent to continue attracting people and creating jobs. When you haven't got job creation, you haven't got a robust set of growth drivers, because if the town has limited jobs, then there's no incentive for people to want to come to the town, and therefore you'll get limited capital growth. The next one is understand your pockets within the region. Don't assume that Ballarat's all the same. It's so not. There's over 26 suburbs. There were 26 last time I counted, but there's little new ones being created every time they do a subdivision. And every single suburb, every little pocket of streets, they all have their own flavour. They have their own crime rates. They have their own sets of growth drivers. And the best way that you can glean a bit of information about the town is spend some time there. Stay up there, do a week away, do a weekend away, chat to property managers. I reckon they are the most underrated, amazing source of information about an area when you're commencing your reconnaissance. Because if you say to a property manager, I will be your client when I buy, what would you love me to buy that makes your job better and makes my result happier? They will tell you exactly what to avoid, and they'll tell you what the locals like, and they'll tell you what the locals will pay extra rental money for. And believe me, it will be a surprise, because I used to think walkability and access to the train and all of that stuff was what people wanted, because that's what we want in Melbourne. We want to be near the cafes. We want short walk scores. In Ballarat, they want to be really warm, and they want their yards to be fenced and gated and secure. They love having pets, and they love powered sheds. Now, that's a generalisation, but if I didn't learn that, I wouldn't have been able to pick out properties that keep local tenants, 10 years along. They keep them in place for a long time, and they keep them happily paying the rent. It's just a set of questions that you've got to ask, and the property manager is a great start.